Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I'm been a little bit slow getting videos up, I do apologise, but I just want to say another big thank you to all the subscribers. Like past 600 now, so I'm on the way. I think I need another 50 subscribers. I could actually go live on the channel, which it does scare me a little bit. I don't mind doing sort of Instagram, just checking the mics on there, go cockeyed and everything else. Now you'll notice I've got these glasses hanging around. These are my reading glasses. I've had Specsavers told me I've had 5 pairs of glasses this year. I'm terrible. So my wife, for my birthday, bought me this Technomic. Now, if you do wear them, then that's fine. But for me, I don't really need to wear them. But she's done this so I don't lose them. But I sort of have to wear them as like sort of like old man glasses, as I call them. And I am a granddad, so I can say granddad glasses. When I'm looking at the bottles and the cans until I get my varifocals back. Anyway. It's been a bit of a Thornbridge sort of like trip for me. The bar's a little tidier, but it still needs tidy up with some wipes there in the shot. They're quite good quality. But anyway, yeah, so it brings me great pleasure. I was really like excited as soon as I opened the Thornbridge Beer Club because there was a Pilsner in there and I thought, ooh, you beauty, what's this going to be like? Is this going to be one of those beers that I'm going to have to actually put Thornbridge against others? I've done the Hef with the Hefeweizen that they did, the wheat beer against a German wheat beer, and they were brilliant. You know, that video's on there. So this is going to lend me to order some more, which I should have done. The beer club comes so quick, the months go so fast that like I didn't actually add to my order this month. I'm gutted because if I'd have seen the Pilsner, I would have added more. Anyway, let's get it out the fridge. So here it is. Now, what am I saying? That Bayern. Is it Bayern? Right, okay. Lovely label. It looks really nice. There's a lovely red, sort of like a pinky red label. So yes, I just put my glasses on now to tell you about it. So here we have, and the one thing I noticed about this, on the back here, gluten free. Now, on the tour that I went on and we talked about it, I talked about the Jaipur. And the one thing I love about the Jaipur is they've not changed it. They've not done anything to it. It's still the same as when it was brewed in 2005. I'm sure there's probably teeny little differences, subtle differences, but it's still 5.9% and they don't intend to do anything to it. But they don't need to because they don't need to make a gluten-free Jaipur because they're making gluten-free beers. They do the AM, PM. So they just don't need to do it. I don't even know when the bottle opener is. The nice Thornbridge bottle top there. I wasn't sure what glass to put it in. I hope this is beer clean because otherwise I'm going to spoil this beer. So this is not really a Pilsner glass, but you know, it's a long tall glass and I'm going to have to bump it down on the thing if it's not. I poured it quite hard because like I just want to make sure this looks great in the glass, and this is not probably had my Speno beer clean, so I do apologise. That's a bad boy. I just took it off. I've not used this glass for absolutely ages, so I'm going to get out a couple of bumps, get them bubbles. Oh crikey, excuse me when I do that twitch. I've got this, I've talked about it on the channel a bit. I try not to even mention about anything that's wrong with me. But oh my goodness me, this shoulder injury that I've got, I might end up chucking this beer everywhere and then I really will be gutted. Honestly. So this is Bayern is our Bavarian style pils brewed with German hops, malt and yeast to be as true to this classic style as possible. It's late hopped with a fantastic Spalter Select. Now what I've seen about that is there's a hop called Spalt, and I think that, I don't know where it's mixed with the other hop, the Halle, I can't even say it now unless I read it. The Hallertauer, I can't even say it. You know what I'm like with words. I think it's sort of like a blend of that. But anyway, we'll have to see. So it's late hopped with the fantastic Spalter Select, renowned for its spicy and earthy flavours. Now, I've actually had one of these, so I know what's coming. With hints of citrus. Bayern undergoes a long conditioning. Now, that is the one thing that is the most important thing about making anything like this. Is the conditioning. You don't want to fast track these drinks through like what some lagers get thrown through and that. Well, this is a Pilsner. You could sort of say there's lagers, Pilsners. Just it's a lager, just different styles. Resulting in a beautiful, crisp beer with a refreshing bitterness in the finish. Gluten-free, ladies and gentlemen. So, we've got that fully in the glass now. Poured quite hard. Lovely light. Look at this. Lovely, as you'd expect. Very light coloured beer. I've come quite unprepared down here because blooming England are playing today. They're playing at 8 o'clock. And I've got to get this done. I want to get this done. So yeah, really light coloured gold as you'd expect. Lovely snowy white head there. Look at that. Let's get rid of some of this. Because I mean, I tell you what, even just from that, you got a lovely bitterness from the hops that you get with the Pilsner. And like the Pilsner, Uguel has a really nice bitterness. And you can... Do you know what? Just from the head of that beer, so many flavours. Now the thing is as well, I've got somebody else to mention. Jane Payton. Oh, please tell me I've got that right. Jane, you've got to excuse me. This is a real, like, it's a bit adrenaline, a bit crazy going. Now I've discovered Jane Payton from Airland Radio. He interviewed her on the station. And on the radio station, on the podcast, and oh my God, she is fantastic. Check her out. I've bought a book. She's got the School of Booze, and she knows her stuff when it comes to beer. Oh my God, the most really interesting interview. And she mentions about tasting the beer and saying how so many of the flavours come from the nose, comes from the aromas of the beer that you get when you drink it. And the way to do it not only is sniffing it up your nose, a really good way of finding out how bitter that is, but also when you get a beer on your mouth, you talk about swirling it round to get the carbonation going around and to let it sit on your tongue and tingle on your tongue. Well, as you put it on your tongue, I can't quote it exactly, but that then starts to make the aromas sort of go around where your senses pick them up, and it helps with the flavour because obviously your tongue, the taste on your tongue, isn't it bitter, sweet, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, God, waffling on. Let's get into this beer. It smells fresh and clean, and from the dipping in the head, sort of very citrusy, nice. Cheers, everybody. Thank you. It's magical. It's magical. It's absolutely magical. Thornbridge are absolute magicians when it comes to brewing different styles of beer. You know, from just doing an IPA to, I mean, their world famous Jaipur. Although the Lord Marples is the first beer that Thornbridge brewed in 2004, but it was the Jaipur that sort of like put them on the map. This is just a really good, fresh tasting, beautiful, herby type, florally, spicy Pilsner with a great bitterness at the back end. It really is. I mean, I've not had a Pilsner Uguel for a long while, but I think this is an AB against that. This is a German style, Bavarian style Pils, whereas the Pilsner Uguel is Czech style Pils, where basically the Pilsner really came from, I believe. So yeah, but oh my goodness me, like, it's absolutely fantastic. You'd never believe you were drinking an English Pils here. You wouldn't believe that you'd be drinking a British brewed Pilsner there. It's very subtle malts, but it's there and it's balanced. Lovely hop crash, lovely, really spicy and it's fantastic. Now, I failed to say, I think it's coming in at 4.8%, so it's absolutely perfect for as crafties that are drinking 6, 7, 8% beers, 10% beers. Once you start falling back down to 4.8% beers, you're talking sessionable beers. I had this the other night when it came. I couldn't wait to have it. I opened the box. I hadn't even seen what was coming in the club. Literally, I opened the box to see what was in there with a sadness in my face, because I realised that I hadn't ordered more, and the month had gone. Been so busy. And I seen this, and as soon as I took it out, seen Pils, I hadn't even researched what the club was. I didn't know what was coming. And I think I've seen it on their Instagram page that they might have mentioned this as a refresh. Didn't realise it was a Bavarian style Pils. And I was so excited, because I just thought to myself, Thornbridge is so fantastic at doing all these different styles of beers. None of their beers are generic through the range. You don't get that genericness of flavours sort of flowing through their beers. Everyone is very unique and very different. And like I say, you'd be very hard pressed to just drink this and go, that's a Thornbridge brewed beer. You really, really, really wouldn't, because they just make it so different. And this doesn't even seem as if it's imitating. It's not. It seems like you're drinking a Bavarian style Pils here. The carbonate, you can tell that it's had a long conditioning. And I mentioned about the Union beer. So the Union beer that they've done on the Burton Union system, I mentioned about the conditioning on that beer. It's just so frigging good. And like the same with this, you can tell that this beer has got beautiful carbonation levels that's naturally come from a long conditioning that's really needed. It's needed to get. Some people will say, oh, all this like lagering, it's just not needed, this long sort of lagering conditioning and all this, that, and the other is not needed. But honestly, you've only got to drink beer lager that's not had the long conditioning, and you can tell they need to fizz it up like a blooming soda stream. This is just very subtle malts. You don't want loads of malts going on here. You don't want a big malt forward here. I think the Pilsner Urquell actually is probably a little bit more maltier, a bit more sweeter. Budvar, I love Budvar. That's his own sort of beer. This for me is coming close. This is giving that bitterness that you get from the Pilsner Urquell, but I think the Pilsner Urquell will be a little bit more malty. So I think this is more. This is a bit more probably how I would expect a Pilsner to be, sort of like not heavy on the malts, more on the herbally spicy, sort of like florally hops, more on the hop profile. With that halatoa. Oh, I'm useless. I can't say it. Being the one that's probably there just for the aroma and the bit of the bittering. Apart from my glass being very just slightly not beer clean. And having some nucleation points on it, even with me and my fault not having the perfectly beer clean glass, it's still got a great head retention. Now, the one I had the other night, I had it in a proper beer clean glass, and literally it just sat there on the side, outside, and nothing moved. The head just stayed there as you would expect. And that's not just the side of a beer clean glass, it's the sign of a quality beer. It's just fantastic. It really is amazing. And it's so refreshing. It's so easy to drink. I love the lingering bitterness that's there. It doesn't quite give you a super dry. It has a little tiny bit of dryness there. It's just absolutely perfectly balanced for me. It's not giving you too much of anything. It's not like giving you too much spice. It's not giving you too much florally stuff. The citrus notes in there are really nice. Quite the I was getting probably a bit of almost orangey lemon from the head. You can get some malt sweetness there. If you start picking out, if you start think, it's almost like if you think malts. If you have a sip and you think, right, malts. you'll start to pick up them pale malts. Very pale malts in there, giving it this light golden colour. It's fantastic. Just super beautifully refreshing, crisp, refined, awesome beer, which gets a Speno 10 out of 10 without a doubt. It's an easy 10 out of 10. The biggest disappointment with these beers, now I noticed that I think the hef is still being brewed. The biggest disappointment with these is that do these special beers and then they'll do them for a bit and then they won't. So I don't know whether Thornbridge are going to keep this coming. But throughout the summer, oh my goodness me, this would be absolutely fantastic. This is. I mean, like, I've not got time now, but I'm going to go on the website. Foolishly, I should have whacked them in my beer club because I would have got all that discount and free delivery. But I still get, being part of the big beer club, I still get the discount. I think this is £3 a bottle on the website for this level of quality crafted Pilsner beer, that's been conditioned for a long while, that's using like German hops and I think German malts. German hops, malts and yeast. So absolutely fantastic. And it's because, what's it say without my glasses on? Yeah, as true to this classic style as possible. And they really have done it. So yeah, it gets a Speno 10 out of 10. Hopefully I'll get this up fairly quick. I might just even throw it straight on there unedited because I've only made a few mistakes. I've only had my shoulder twinge and nearly punched myself out a couple of times. But anyway, cheers everybody. Get yourself onto Thornbridge website. I know I'm a bit of a Thornbridge guru at the minute, but I can't help what I like. I've got loads of beers to bring to the channel. It's just having the time to do it. But I appreciate you checking in whenever I put a video on. I really, really do. And this has been a little overexcited because I'm looking at the time and I've got to go and then get back and watch England get themselves into the final. All right. So anyway, take care, everybody. And as always, live, love, laugh. Be safe. Enjoy these beautiful crisps. I mean, look at that. Absolutely fantastic. Now it's gone to that little bottleneck there. Not really a Pilsner glass. I think I bought this as a Pilsner style glass, but it ain't really. It wants to be probably a little bit wider at the top and then just a bit straighter. But this got this little, which does help with the, when it crashes back down to help to like cut that head. Look at that. Absolutely. Head retention all the way down, even with my slightly clean but dirty glass. Fantastic. Right, anyway, waffling on. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for subscribing. And if you really want to subscribe, I'd really, really appreciate it. I'd love to hit the 1,000. If I hit 1,000, I think of something special to do. Right, okay. Be safe, everybody. Keep smiling. Keep smiling. Even laugh at me with my glasses on the end of my nose. With me anti-loosey glassy things. Look, I ain't lost them. Cheers. I've been Speno.